Anyway, on that note, Israeli PM Netanyahu is about to address Congress, so I'm gonna fucking blast the frick off. You already know what it is. All right, we're gonna get that's why I started early. War criminal BB speaks to captive audience, excited at prospect of more dead children. 86 Dems and 1 rep boycott. Kamala isn't there. Massive. If you took the day off, something funny would have happened in DC. Just saying. Okay, chill. 100 plus Congress interns are boycotting Netanyahu's address today, citing constituent demands. The overwhelming demand is clear. Prime Minister Netanyahu must be held accountable for his crimes against humanity. It's our moral obligation, bro. They're interns. Like, come on now. Anyway. All right, that's a good blast off meme. Let's freaking go. Feder bitch update. Yeah, Thomas Massey's also boycotting. Yeah, that's why I said 1 Republican and 86 Dems. Oh, this gross piece of shit monstrous scumbag is already shaking hands. AP stream is ahead. I don't care. We'll watch it on this one. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. It has nothing to do with the YouTube thing. I'm mad at this. This is disgusting. This is 100% the equivalent of like putting up, I'm straight up saying it. This is literally being like, yo, Adolf, come talk. Like, come talk, please, at the US Congress. And it's wild that this was a bipartisan invite from Chuck Schumer, who like a month prior to this, prior to inviting him alongside Michael Johnson, Michael Penis, had literally said he's awful and we have to replace him with fucking Benny Gantz. So I got all the smoke today. You know, listen, we're gonna be Israel posting today. Okay, I'm gonna be talking about Israel. So I know that that's like something that a lot of fucking fair weather Democrats who only talk about want to talk about progress but never want to talk about this issue. You're going to hear a little bit about that. Okay, so buckle in. Let's get started.
Speaker of the House, I want to thank you for giving me the profound honor of addressing this great citadel of democracy for the 4th time. We meet today at a crossroads of history. Our world is in upheaval. In the Middle East, Iran's axis of terror confronts America, Israel, and our Arab friends. This is not a clash of civilization. It's a clash between barbarism and civilization.
Gross. Piece of shit.
It's a clash between those who glorify death and those who sanctify life.
Bro, dude, you are the barbar. You are the barbarism. You are doing the barbarism.
For the forces of civilization
40,000 in a conservative
America
estimate.
and Israel must stand together.
They're clapping for him!
Because when we stand together, something very simple happens. We win, they lose.
It's going to be so hard for me not to say terms of service violations right now. Like every fucking person, they're giving him a standing ovation the entire time.
October 7th is a day that will forever live in infamy. It began as a perfect day, not a cloud in the sky. And suddenly, at 6:29 a.m., as children were still sleeping soundly in their beds in the towns in kibbutzim next to Gaza, suddenly heaven turned into hell. 3,000 Hamas terrorists stormed into Israel.
He's gonna do gory details of October 7. He's gonna lie about some of the things that happened. Of course, he's not gonna bring up the fact that the IDF also messed up majorly and that he is seen as like part of the reason why October 7 happened, like how it was ever allowed to happen. We're not even gonna get to any of that real shit. He is a monstrous piece of shit.
They raped women.
Yeah.
They beheaded men. They burnt babies alive.
None of that is real.
They killed parents in front of their children and children in front of their parents. They dragged 255 people, both living and dead, into the dark dungeons of Gaza.
You guys are mentally ill. If you think we're mentally ill for saying that like a person who is designated as a war criminal, okay, who has been responsible for the death and destruction of an entire fucking area filled to the brim, an open air prison filled to the brim, 40,000 dead, the majority women and children. If we think that that guy is a piece of shit and that makes us mentally ill, then yeah, I guess we're fucking mentally ill. We're the ones who are mentally ill. You're right. Like this is equivalent to Adolf Hitler giving a speech and the American Congress giving him a standing ovation. Like straight up. It's insane.
Eliyahu Bibas is the grandfather of those 2 beautiful red-headed boys, the Bibas boys, toddlers. And they were taken hostage with their mother and Noz and Eliyahu's son, The entire family was taken hostage. Two beautiful red-haired children taken hostage. What monsters. And with us also is Iris Chaim, whose son Yotam bravely escaped Hamas captivity with two other Israelis, and tragically they were killed making their way back to our lines. We have with us also families of American hostages. They're here.
Dude, this is, oh my God, I hate this. I hate this so much. But I do think, okay, here's my hopium. Here's my hopium. This is so fucking gross, and it will literally bring back attention to Gaza, because everyone was talking about in the past 7 days, in the past 2 weeks, things heated up. Since the debate, basically no one was talking about Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu coming out and swinging for the fucking fences in the immediate aftermath of an ICJ decision that declared Israel to be an apartheid state, that Israel must immediately evacuate all the territories that it currently occupies and go back to 1967 borders. And then the ICC warrant for his application is supposed to be going through any time. When he's giving a standing ovation like this, okay, when you're giving a standing ovation like this, there are two things happen. One, people are going to be like, why the fuck does anybody care about like a foreign leader this much? What the hell is going on? So it will negatively polarize people, I think. And secondly, it will cause people to pay attention to Gaza again. It'll be in the forefront of the conversation again. And that in and of itself, I think, will have negative consequences for Israel. It'll have negative consequences for Benjamin Netanyahu. Why are you muting? Just turn it down. Because I don't fucking care. You've heard him a million times over. He's not going to say anything new. This is exactly the same fucking speech.
President Biden for his heartfelt support for Israel after the savage attack on October 7th. He rightly called Hamas sheer evil. He dispatched 2 aircraft carriers to the Middle East to deter a wider war. And he came to Israel to stand with us during our darkest hour, a visit that will never be forgotten.
Like, the dark side of this, of course, is that this causes so much more people to be anti-Semitic. Like, this is how anti-Semitism festers, okay? Also, Nadler literally called Benjamin Netanyahu a piece of shit yesterday, and he's also giving him a standing O here today. So it's like, what are you doing? Nadler, you fucking shit your diapers on a regular basis, and you're using what remains of your like battery as an 800-year-old demon to like stand up to give him claps. What are we doing here?
With us today is Lieutenant Avichai Reuven.
Bro, they love doing identity politics. They're so fucking conservative. They're like, yeah, look, see, we have black people in the IDF, dude. Hey, guys, don't ever look up what we did to Ethiopian Jews, okay? Please don't do that. Don't look at the sterilization operation that we engaged in.
Of October 7th,
Israel, famously not racist.
Of Hamas's bloody rampage. He put on his uniform.
Like, this man is literally a far-right Republican in terms of like American Congress. And you have Democrats clapping for him. Even on partisan boundaries, this makes no fucking sense. It's like if Donald Trump set up the concentration camps and then put like a black Customs and Border Patrol officer in a fucking State of the Union address or a State of the Congress, and every Democrat was like clapping for the black Customs and Border Patrol guy. You know what I mean? It's so fucking gross. I think that's a reach. You think that's a reach? Benjamin Netanyahu is a far right. He is a far right ultra nationalist piece of shit. He is literally more bloody. His hands are more bloody than like the average Republican almost. Okay, obviously not. America loves doing war crimes as well. But like he is, in terms of Israeli politics, a right-wing conservative. Okay, it's not a reach at all. This is identical. I'm using this analogy from American politics for all of the people who only understand American politics maybe a little bit and nothing about Israeli politics to literally comprehend what is going on here. You have bipartisan support pretty much for this fucking far-right conservative who is actively murdering children and women, okay? Who is a war criminal by international standards, and he is basically the far-right conservative of his own fucking country, that where, you know, the only people to the right of him are just like literal Nazis, Jewish power party, like white power, okay, straight up, okay? And you have people wearing IDF dog tags in Congress. You have people giving him a standing O. Like the equivalent would literally be having someone from the like having Donald Trump talk about how wonderful it is that, you know, they're murdering all the migrants in concentration camps or some shit, and then have and then point to like Customs and Border Patrol officers that are participating in that project, and have Democrats go, thank you, sir, you're right, you really fucking restored this nation to peace and prosperity. Look at this piece of shit. Oh, now he's in a fucking suit. I hate this fucking monster.
Within a short time, Asa will soon return to active duty as a commander of a tank company.
Wait, what? Bro doesn't have one arm. What do you mean he's going to be a commander? Are they that fucking low on resources? That's crazy, dog. That's crazy, dog.
I just learned there is a fourth hero here, Lieutenant Jonathan Ben Chamo, who lost a leg in Gaza and continued to fight.
He's like, you guys don't understand. We literally are running out of people. We're running out of people. We're running out of tanks. We're running out of people. Please.
These are the soldiers of Israel, unbowed, undaunted, unafraid. They have risen like lions, the lions of Judah, the lions of Israel.
Why are they clapping for any of this?
The men and women of the IDF come from every corner of Israeli society, every ethnicity, every color, every creed, left and right, religious and secular.
I don't care. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard not to say some shit, dude. I'm trying so hard not to be on fucking Fox News. Oh my Lord. America first, by the way. Yeah, Republicans love talking about America first, by the way. There is no world. I don't think that actual Republicans that aren't like the psychopathic biblical evangelical Protestants that think like Israel is going to bring about the rapture, outside of those guys, I don't think any Republican listens to this fucking rabid, monstrous piece of shit and watch their representatives and watch their senators get up and give more of a rabid applause to a foreign nation's leader than their own president when their own president fucking speaks, okay? This is a more rabid audience, a more bipartisan audience than when a Democratic president speaks to addresses Congress, than when a Republican president addresses Congress. This is incredible. Okay? This is incredible shit. There is no better representation that America is completely bought and sold to corporate interests, that American Congress is completely bought and sold to whatever our foreign policy is going to be in the Middle East, than what you are experiencing right now, okay? There is no way, I do not believe that like Republicans in fucking Alabama that aren't like super invested in this televangelist narrative of the rapture coming are going to look at this and go, wow, I really love that my congressperson is out there clapping like a fucking seal when this guy is saying like, we have to defend Israel. It's the most important state. Like, no shot. No fucking shot.
So these protesters burn American flags even on the 4th of July. And I wish to salute the fraternity brothers at the University of North Carolina.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm going to throw up.
The American flag.
Bro, this is American culture war shit. He's doing American culture war issues, brother. I'm telling you, he is just a Republican. Just a Republican, okay? He is literally doing American culture war notes.
Iran
clapping USA to Israel's prime minister is so fucking funny. Yeah, no, totally.
But they're there.
Hey man, I don't know how y'all do it in Israel, but we got a thing called free speech here, okay? It's motherfucking America. This shit ain't Israel, okay? You can't fucking complain and cry about what is done to the American flag. Suck my fucking dick.
You have officially
it's called the First Amendment.
Iran's
constitutionally
idiots.
Protected too, bitch. Bitch ass. Imagine having a fucking foreign leader coming into U.S. Congress, shitting on American citizens and having their own fucking American representatives go, hell yeah, you're right. Suck my fucking dick, you monstrous pieces of shit. You fucking cowards. All of you. Shame on every single person.
Proclaiming gays for Gaza. They might as well hold up signs saying chickens for KFC.
Gross, dude.
It's not only the campus protesters who get it wrong. It's also the people who run those campuses. 80 years after the Holocaust, the presidents of Harvard, Penn, and I'm ashamed to say my alma mater, MIT, couldn't bring themselves to condemn the calls for the genocide of Jews. You remember what they said? They said, it depends on the context. Well, let me give these befuddled academics a little context. Anti-Semitism is the world's oldest hatred. For centuries, the massacre of Jews was always preceded by wild accusations. We were accused of everything from poisoning wells to spreading plagues to using the blood of slaughtered children to bake Passover matzahs. These preposterous anti-Semitic lies led to persecution, mass murder, and ultimately to history's worst genocide, the Holocaust. And no wonder we've witnessed an appalling rise of anti-Semitism in America and around the world.
Yeah, dude, no, this definitely won't contribute to like an appalling rise of actual anti-Semitism after Americans literally see something that they're not used to. And they're like, why is this foreign leader getting so much play? Why does he have so much motion in American Congress? You think this doesn't contribute to anti-Semitism? This is literally like an American Nazi's wet dream, okay? This is an American Nazi's wet dream. They're going to be like, they will run this over and over again to be like, see? They will take advantage of the lack of critical thinking. They will take advantage of the lack of critical thinking that the average American has on this issue. Because on the one side, on the Israeli front, Israel consistently uses Judaism as a cynical deployment, a cynical shield to be like, yeah, we're doing this for Jews around the world. Joe Biden then reiterates that point and says, not a single Jew would be safe without Israel being a Jewish ethno-state. So Americans also associate Israel with Judaism when they shouldn't, okay? But there is no greater way to make that argument like, oh, see, look, Jews control the media, Jews control the fucking Congress, like, look at this, is exactly what Nazis are going to say over and over and over again, especially as these fucking dickheads are giving him a standing ovation. It's really fucked up. I know. The reason why Congress looks full right now, even though half the Democratic caucus is not there, is because they put seat fillers on.
I want to thank all of you here today who forcefully opposed the false accusations of the ICC and stood up for the truth. These lies are not only libel, they're downright dangerous. The ICC is trying to shackle Israel's hands and prevent us from defending ourselves. And if Israel's hands are tied, America is next. And I'll tell you what else is next. The ability of all democracies to fight terrorism will be imperiled. That's what's on the line. So let me assure you, the hands of the Jewish state will never be shackled. Israel will always defend itself. My friends, in the Middle East, Iran is virtually behind all the terrorism, all the turmoil, all the chaos, all the killing. And that should come as no surprise.
Wait, what? Did he say Israel is behind all the terrorism in the Middle East? He's right.
Ayatollah Khomeini pledged, we will export the Islamic Revolution
he said
to the
Iran.
entire world. Now ask yourself, which country ultimately stands in the way of Iran's maniacal plans to impose radical Islam on the world? And the answer is clear. It's America, the guardian of Western civilization and the world's greatest power.
I'm not kidding. I think Benjamin Netanyahu is more popular in America than he is in Israel. I think Benjamin Netanyahu is more popular in America than he is in Israel. And I think Donald Trump is more popular in Israel than he is in America. It's like, what is happening?
That's why Iran sees America as its greatest enemy. Last month, we heard a revealing comment, ostensibly about the war in Gaza, but about something else. It came from the foreign minister of Iran's proxy, Hezbollah, and he said this is not a war with Israel. Israel, he said, is merely a tool. The real war is with America. Iran's regime has been fighting America from the moment it came to power. In 1979, it stormed the American embassy. It held scores of Americans hostage for 444 days. Since then, Iran's terrorist proxies have targeted America in the Middle East and beyond. In Beirut, they killed 241 U.S. servicemen. In Africa,
Netanyahu claims civilian casualties amount to practically none. It says Israeli force should be commended for the number of civilians killed.
And kill thousands of American
Okay,
soldiers.
let's see if they keep that energy.
In America.
Why is chat so anti-American? Dude, that's so funny that you're saying that. Like, because we're not dick riding a fucking foreign nation. Because we're not dick riding a foreign nation's leader, absolutely just rubbing his penis on every single seat in fucking Congress as they give him a standing O behind every word in a way that they don't even do when an American president is speaking. There are more partisan protests when a fucking American president speaks and talks to its own fucking Congress. And that's anti-American? You think that's anti-American because we're not sufficiently dick riding Israel, a foreign country? The fuck is being American to you? Oh, sorry. If you do not immediately get on your knees and suck Benjamin Netanyahu's dick and balls, you are not sufficiently pro-America. Suck my dick.
That's why the mobs in Tehran chant death to Israel before they chant death to America. For Iran, Israel is first, America is next. So when Israel fights Hamas, we're fighting Iran. When we fight Hezbollah, we're fighting Iran. When we fight the Houthis, we're fighting Iran. And when we fight Iran, we're fighting the most radical and murderous enemy of the United States of America. And one more thing. When Israel acts to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons that could destroy Israel and threaten every American city, every city that you come from, we're not only protecting ourselves, we're protecting you.
Yeah, Iran is going to invade America any day now, guys. Any day now. Like, how can you say you love this fucking nation and then simultaneously look at all of the fucking poverty everywhere? Okay, the roads are fucked. There's no infrastructure. Bridges are falling apart. You can't pay for education. Everything is too expensive. And this Congress is sending billions of dollars of weapons to a foreign state so they can actively murder more children and women. Like, think about that. How can you say you love America? How can you say you love America and then simultaneously turn around and go, and that's precisely why we got to give billions and billions of dollars to an apartheid state? Even if you don't give a fuck, even if you personally don't care about all the fucking brown children that they're killing because they're brown, you should still be like, why are we giving them billions of dollars of weapons? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, why are we giving them billions and billions and billions of fucking dollars? What the fuck is that about? How does that make sense in your fucking mind? If you're a Republican, how does that make sense in your fucking mind? Explain that to me. Okay?
But let me be clear. Israel will do whatever it must do to restore security to our northern border and return our people safely to their homes.
And before people start chirping about like, oh, see, America's controlled by Jews, you know who's getting fucking arrested outside of these halls right now? Jews, motherfucker. You know who got arrested yesterday? Jews. Jews for ceasefire. Not in our name, okay? Jewish Voice for Peace. There are so many fucking Jewish-led groups that are anti-war and anti-Israel and anti-Zionist that are getting absolutely murked right now by American police because they're American Jews who say, not in our fucking name, okay? And they get arrested by the hundreds. They are tear gassing the press outside right now, okay? Without even a dispersal order given, mind you. And we're doing that for what? We're doing that for Israel, okay? It's not for Jews. It's for Israel. Israel might claim cynically that they are doing this for Judaism, but it's absolutely unconscionable behavior that has nothing to do with Judaism whatsoever. Okay? Never forget, there are significantly more evangelical Protestants that are ultra-Zionist in totality in this country than there are Jewish Zionists in this country. Okay? There are 10x more evangelical Protestants that love Israel and want Israel to fucking keep being this psychotic, rabid, bloodthirsty state, specifically because they think the rapture is going to happen. 10x the number of Jews in totality, as a matter of fact, okay? Anti-Zionist Jews and Zionist Jews combined do not even make 1/10 of the number of evangelical Protestant Christians who are rabid ultra-Zionists in this country. Okay?
I deeply appreciate America's support, including in this current war. But this is an exceptional moment. Fast-tracking U.S. military aid can dramatically expedite an end to the war in Gaza and help prevent a broader war in the
U.S. Capitol
Middle
Police
East.
arrest Jewish activists calling for
In
Israel
World War
arms
II,
embargo. This happened yesterday.
As Britain
Hundreds of them.
Give us the tools and we'll finish the job. Today, as Israel fights on the front line of civilization, I too appeal to America. Give us the tools faster and we'll finish the job faster. The war in
this
Gaza
just
could
happened.
end tomorrow.
Look at that. Netanyahu's giving a smug-ass speech in Congress. Karmit Palti-Katzir, whose father and brother were murdered on October 7th and her mom kidnapped, is arrested by Capitol Police for wearing a shirt demanding Netanyahu seal the deal. Like, there are Israeli.
But if they don't,
there are Israeli
Israel
American
will fight
Jews
until
who
we
are
destroy
literally
Hamas's
there to
military
protest Benjamin
capability.
Netanyahu, whose fucking family members have been killed on October 7, and they're protesting Netanyahu, and we're arresting them. Okay? We are so fucking cucked, dude.
That's what total victory means, and we will settle for nothing less. The day after we defeat Hamas, a new Gaza can emerge. My vision for that day is of a demilitarized and de-radicalized Gaza. Israel does not seek to resettle Gaza, but for the foreseeable future, we must retain overriding security control there to prevent the resurgence of terror, to ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel. Gaza should have a civilian administration run by Palestinians who do not seek to destroy Israel. That's not too much to ask. Those twin words, demilitarization and de-radicalization, those two concepts were applied to Germany and Japan after World War II, and that led to decades of peace.
I'm trying a regular diet Dr. Pepper for the first time ever, by the way, unrelated to everything that's going on.
Now, here's my vision.
Not sure if I like it.
For the broader Middle East, by what we saw in the aftermath of World War II. After that war, America forged a security alliance in Europe to counter the growing Soviet threat. Likewise, America and Israel today can forge a security alliance in the Middle East to counter the growing Iranian threat. All countries that are at peace with Israel and all those countries who will make peace with it should be invited to join this alliance. We saw a glimpse of that potential alliance on April 14th. Led by the United States, more than half a dozen nations worked alongside Israel. Thank you, President Biden, for bringing that coalition together. The new alliance I envision would be a natural extension of the groundbreaking Abraham Accords. Those accords saw peace forged between Israel and 4 Arab countries, and they were supported by Republicans and Democrats alike. I have a name for this new alliance. I think we should call it the Abraham Alliance. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership in brokering the historic Abraham Accords.
Turns out the real unity ticket was Benjamin Netanyahu. Turns out that's the real unity ticket, boys.
Israelis were relieved that President
He
Trump
will unite this
emerged
country
safe and sound from that dastardly
and
attack
save
on
the
him.
bloodlust that we have.
Dastardly attack on American democracy. There is no room for political violence in democracies. I also want to thank President Trump for all the things he did for Israel, from recognizing Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, to confronting Iran's aggression, to recognizing Jerusalem as our capital and moving the American embassy there. My dear friends, Democrats and Republicans, despite these times of upheaval, I'm hopeful about the future. I'm hopeful about Israel because my people, the Jewish people, emerged from the depths of hell, from dispossession and genocide. And against all odds, we restored our sovereignty in our ancient homeland. We built a powerful and vibrant democracy, a democracy that pushes the boundaries of innovation for the betterment of all humanity. I'm hopeful about America because I'm hopeful about Americans. I know how much the people of this country have sacrificed to defend freedom. America will continue to be a force for light and good in a dark and dangerous world. For free peoples everywhere, America remains the beacon of liberty its extraordinary founders envisioned back in 1776. I'm confident that our two nations will vanquish the tyrants and terrorists who threaten us both. As Israel's Prime Minister, I promise you this: no matter how long it takes, no matter how difficult the road ahead, Israel will not relent. Israel will not bend. We will defend our land. We will defend our people. We will fight until we achieve victory. Victory over liberty, rather victory of liberty over tyranny, victory of life over death, victory of good over evil. That's our solemn commitment. And we will continue to work with the United States and our Arab partners to transform a troubled region from a backwater of repression, poverty, and war into a thriving oasis of dignity, prosperity, and peace. In this noble mission, as in many others, Israel will always remain America's indispensable ally. Through thick and thin.
Here's the latest polls. Trump voters, the Israeli 60. What the fuck is this? Fuck! Trump voters say Israeli 68%. Harris voters,
Israel
Palestinians 34%, the Israelis 12%, about equal 38%.
On behalf of the people of Israel, I came here today to say thank you, America. Thank you for your support and solidarity. Thank you for standing in Israel, with Israel, in our hour of need. Together we shall defend our common civilization. Together we shall secure a brilliant future for both our nations. God bless Israel, may God bless America, and may God bless the great alliance between Israel and America forever.
This is obviously vile, but I don't know, might have said enough to actually give cover for Dems to break on it, rebuff the peace plan, and glaze Trump on top of being a bloodthirsty monster. If the Democrats, which by the way, in both the Senate and the House, almost the majority of the Democratic caucus did not attend this speech. They are either openly boycotting it or simply not attending it. Okay? This is very important to understand. If Kamala Harris doesn't fucking boulder Netanyahu after this speech, she was not in attendance here. If Kamala Harris does not boulder Netanyahu after this fucking speech, which, by the way, this is the second time he's done this to a Democratic administration, for all of the fucking liberals in the chat, okay? I need you to understand something. He did this shit to Barack Obama too. Republicans, back then, Republicans invited him. This time it was a bipartisan invitation, okay? He did this shit to Barack Obama as well when Barack Obama was securing the Iran denuclearization agreement, okay? A phenomenal foreign policy achievement. If this level of disrespect is not even addressed on partisan lines, okay? Not even on a moral quandary, not even on moral boundaries, not even on like, oh, it's unconscionable that this guy is a fucking bloodthirsty war criminal. Not even on those lines, but simply on partisan lines. The disrespect, the gall, the audacity that you could just sit there, be the biggest welfare state on the fucking planet, okay, and then go up to daddy and spit on daddy's face like this? No more. No more, dude, okay? No fucking way, no how. The notion that he gets to...
That stands into contrast.
I want to see what the media coverage is going to look like on CNN, but the notion that like he gets to do this shit,
on focusing their criticism on Israeli policy, not on Israel's right to exist as a state, he deflected a whole host of criticisms.
Yeah, 58 members of Congress skipped Netanyahu's speech. More members skipped it this time around.
He says that if Palestinians are not getting enough food, that is not Israel's responsibility or fault. He blames it purely on Hamas. We should note that aid groups have said that Israel has made it very hard to get not just food, but
address that shit. Call that shit out.
Into Gaza, and that right now we're seeing levels of starvation.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, this is going to have backlash. This is going to negatively polarize people, I think. This is going to make people recenter their focus on Gaza. Kamala Harris has a phenomenal opportunity to change the narrative on the Democratic Party's allegiance to Israel. Okay? Kamala Harris needs to fucking ride this and at least on the messaging front come out way more strict on Israel.
Military commanders
themselves Kamala Harris has to go fucking maybe not balls to the wall because that requires political bravery. I don't think she has it.
Perhaps military action against Iran's nuclear program.
2015, 50 Dems in Congress boycotted the speech. Today it was 136 Democrats. Netanyahu and AIPAC are losing the Democratic Party.
A strident speech, one that received a tremendous amount of applause from the Republican side of the chamber. There were a number of moments there during some of those lines when you could see on the Democratic side of the chamber
Bernie boycotted,
not standing and not applauding his comments. Our panel is with...
Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries was clapping too, though. That piece of shit. That fucking piece of shit. Anyway, clapping. You'll be clapping at the top of the hour if you are already subscribed, because you won't be seeing those fucking ads. If you want to be a part of the people that don't see the ads and actually have an uninterrupted broadcast experience, then subscribe for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Here's a 3-minute ad break now.
Well, I think, Jim,
I'm sorry I didn't give the best possible fucking ad break segue right now. I'm a little heated. I'm a little emotional.